Hi everyone and welcome to Leah's Cross Stitch Corner. This is Floss Tube number 13, my lucky number. I've actually got it tattooed on my leg. If you're a Taylor Swift fan, you know. So if you know, you know. Today I wanted to discuss how you can be featured in the world of cross stitching magazine. So I did a Floss Tube a few weeks ago, Floss Tube number 9. Sorry, I meant to note that down before I started. But thankfully I've got my YouTube up just over there so I could just have a look. So Floss Tube number 9, I discussed what was the best cross stitching magazine, and in my humble opinion it is the world of cross stitching. And I mentioned in that video that I was actually featured in the world of cross stitching. Now that didn't sway my decision. I didn't decide that because I was featured. That was just an added bonus. So today I'm just going to discuss the process. I was going to put this video up a couple of weeks ago, but I wanted to check with the world of cross stitching that was okay, that they didn't mind me sharing all of the questions that I was asked and the entire process from start to finish. So I was a little bit procrastinating in getting that asked of them. So I didn't receive it back to do it a couple of weeks ago when I initially wanted to. So it's going up, obviously, now. So Summer is back with me today. She has her Merry Christmas romper on. Romper. So like it's like a PJs and it's Merry Christmas. And I have also gone for a Merry Christmas t-shirt because, well, Summer is, so why can't I? I haven't skipped Halloween. Summer was Christmassy, so I decided to be Christmassy. And obviously she's back with me today. Summer, you say hello? Hi, baby. Nah. She's in a bit of a huff. She was very grumpy last night. She slept with us last night because her mum's at work today. And she kept growling at Graham. It's so funny, honestly. Because she'll growl, she'll go, arr, and then she'll go, and she'll wag her tail, and she'll come over for kisses because she knows she's done wrong. But, like, she can't help it. It's like one of those, like, it's like an animalistic response, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, shall we just get into it? I mean, I could waffle about Summer all day, don't get me wrong, but you are actually here for a reason. Summer is part of it. But let's talk some cross stitch, shall we? So this was the episode of the world of cross stitching that I was featured in. It is issue number, I should have written it down, 335, and it's the August 2023 edition. It came out in June. Do I have the date? The 14th of June is when it came out. And it's got the Forever Friends on. So if you've got this issue, have a look and you'll see me. So it was quite a lengthy process to get involved in the reader panel in the world of cross stitching. Obviously there's thousands of cross stitches around. So I can, you know, it took from me sending the initial email in February of 2022, it took 12, 13, like 14 months to actually be featured, which is not too bad. I thought it would be longer than that, to be honest, but yeah. So what happened, I obviously started cross stitching a couple of years ago and I read in the magazine about taking part. So in February 2022, I sent the initial email to the world of cross stitching. I was like, please, can I be involved? Tell me, just tell me how. I'll be involved in any way possible. You know, I would love to do it. And I didn't hear anything back after that. I think they sent like a response that says, you know, you'll go on a queue, blah, blah, blah. Standard, like, you know, you need to wait your turn. Cool, not a problem. So I then chased it up in November of 2022 because I was like, well, I'm not really sure. Did they actually take my request down? Because I sent a couple of requests at the same time. So I sent the request to be on the reader panel, and then I sent a request to ask if they would do, there was like this feature where Doreen Jones would do cross stitches of pets, and so I sent one asking if they would do Summer, but they actually scrapped that feature going into this year because Doreen's done a stitch along instead, which it's a lovely stitch along, but I'm very disappointed because I would love a cross stitch of Summer. So in November 2022, I sent a little chaser email and I was like, am I on the list? Will I, you know? And they responded and they were like, yeah, you're on the list, it's fine, you just need to be patient. I was like, that's fine, not a problem. So on the 29th of March, it's my Uncle Colin's birthday actually, I received the email to take part. I've got it all noted down. I'm very organised today. And, you know, I think I responded to receiving the email within like an hour and I was like, yes, I can still take part. Don't worry, I can do it. let me do it. So then Sarah responded. That's who I was corresponding with. That's who I've been corresponding with to even get approval for this video. She responded on the 29th and she said she would send the questions on the Monday, which was the 3rd of April 2023, and that's when I received the questions. And I got 14 days to return the questions to her. 14 normal days to 2 weeks, not working days. I mean, I think I did them pretty quickly. I should have written down when I actually did them, but I sent them back pretty swiftly after receiving them, to be honest. I just got my head down and got it done. And then once I'd returned the questions to her, she let me know that when the digital issue goes on sale on the 14th of June, or when all of the issue goes on sale, I'll get a digital version to access. I didn't actually bother. I knew I had my subscription copy coming anyway, so it didn't really bother me, to be fair. And you get asked a number of questions. I'm going to go through them shortly, but 3 get featured in the magazine, and you also get the chance to preview the magazine. So you get to see some of the patterns that are in the magazine, and you get 2 mentions on 2 of the patterns, which is pretty cool. So that's everything off my little list here. I don't know whether to do all of the questions first or show the magazine first. Oh, I know. Poor Ben. Don't even think about barking though. I've closed the windows. Say hiya, Summer. No. Hey, good girl. So I'll show the magazine off first. So obviously it was this issue, like I said. Go and get it if you haven't. I mean, you won't be able to get it now. Maybe you can get it online. Go and get it. And let me just bring it up. So here is the panel. And there I am. A nice catfishy photo from like three and a bit years ago. Whoopsie daisy. And it says Leah Graham Cave. I've just accidentally given him a full name. Oh well. Is a customer service representative. And the 3 questions it asked, I won't to give you the answers because I'm going to go through the answers in a minute. How did you start stitching? Tell us about a world of cross-stitching design you love. What do you love about stitching? So I'll give you those answers pretty shortly. I'll give you those answers in a minute. So those were my 3 questions that were featured. And I was featured on this spread here of the Get Well cards. Where am I? Here I am. I'll swoop it up because I don't want you to see the pattern. There I am, giving my thoughts on this one. And I'll tell you what I actually said, because I gave thoughts on like 4 or 5 of them. And these were just the couple that were actually picked. Bear with me. I'm here somewhere. I know I am. Was it that one? Was it that one? No, it wasn't. It was this one. It was the fair. And I was also featured in the fair as well. This was one of my favourites from this magazine, actually. So, oh, excuse me. I was very happy to be featured. And I am planning on actually getting this one to actually do myself. So there I am on that one as well. Another one of my favourites, just while I'm showing off the magazine. Let me just get it. Because I've actually got it coming, the fabric for this one. Where is it at? Oh, doesn't show me there. Page 78. There we go. The ship in the bottle. This is my absolute favourite one from this design. And I've got the actual fabric coming. So it's stitched on Stormy Night fabric by Fabric Flare. And I've bought it. I've bought Even Weave to do it. Oh my god. Ah, that's the one they actually recommend. So yes, well done me for getting that. So that was the magazine. That's how I was featured. I will tell you at the end how to actually do it and the email address to do it. So I'll just leave that open. And here are the questions that I was asked. So I printed them off because I didn't want to be looking at my phone while I'm talking to you. So I printed them off. I was like, I'll go through them that way. So you get a nice fancy, like it's even got like the header paper on. You love to see it. So that's my name, which I've just given you. Yeah, A pro of nothing. My hometown, I'm not going to tell you that. You know I'm in County Durham anyway. My occupation, customer service representative. My address, I'm not going to tell you that either. And they ask that so they can send the goodies. So when you take part in the reader panel, you do get sent some goodies. It can take 28 days from the on sale date to receive them, which if I'd read that I would have known, but like my issue came and I was like, oh, where's my freebie? I wasn't bothered, but it's nice to have a freebie, I guess. I'm going to show them off at the end as well, so bear with me on that. And they ask for my email address as well. They've already got it, because obviously how have they contacted me, but it's just so they can send a digital copy of the magazine, so it's not too bother. Not too much of a bother. So the first question, how did you start cross-stitching? And I said, obviously I started cross-stitching 2 years ago. I was looking for a new hobby that I could do while working from home. I tried embroidery, but I didn't really like it. So I bought a couple of cross-stitch magazines, World of Cross Stitch being one. I did the free gifts and it's grown from there. And just so you're aware, when I was doing these questions, I was trying to fill in as much information as possible. So Summer gets mentioned, Graham gets mentioned, the guinea pigs get mentioned. Obviously, I wasn't doing a floss tube at this point, so I couldn't mention that. But hey, who knows? Maybe they'll feature me again as a floss tuber. They asked, what has been your favourite cross-stitch project? Now, this is like asking, what's my favourite book? What's my favourite film? I love all of them, to be honest. You know, they're all really good projects. I do them because I enjoy them. But I said, I did say it was tricky, as I love all the ones I do. Brand on brand. But my favourite was probably the I Love You design that I stitched for Graham. Designed by Emma Congdon, Stitch Rovia. I said I love her style and I've stitched a number of her typographic designs now. And I think that one means the most because it's one of the first ones I did. It means a lot because obviously it was for Graham, and it was really lovely to stitch actually. So yeah. Oh, that's lovely and cool. It's hard to pick a favourite. I love all the cross stitches that I do. I wouldn't do it if I wasn't enjoying it, kind of thing. So yeah. So they asked, tell us about your latest stitching project. What's it like and why did it catch your eye? Have you stitched others like it? So at this point I was doing the cotton and twine subscription box design. It's the greenhouse design. I've featured it before. It'll be in one of my other videos if you want to see it. It was my first time actually stitching on 16 count Ada, which it was actually really tricky, but I've actually gotten a lot better with it. I don't know if it's because I've got better lighting or whatever. I mean, the lighting today is pretty sweet. Look pretty good, don't I? Very smooth. Don't get distracted, Leia. I haven't actually got like a ring light or anything. I'm planning to get one when I get my camera, but this is just natural. It's my first, it was actually the first historical sampler company design that I actually did. And it obviously hasn't been my last because I've done a couple more since then. So that's what I was currently working on. This is back in the day, the glory days when I only had one project on the go, gang. I have, at the minute, 7 on the go. Don't tell Graham. Chaos. The next one was, what's your favourite project style and why? Samplers, florals, cuties, quick cards, animals and landscapes, other. And I said I have a varied project style. I quite like modern designs, as you all know if you've watched any of my videos showing any off. I said that I have a varied project style. I tend to do statement pieces that can be framed, whether that's typography or fun little stitches of an animal featuring something punny. I love a good pun. Jess at Geeky Stitching Company is the punniest of them all, and I love her for it. And I said I want to stitch more samplers as I think they look fantastic when they're done. I do, and it's true. And that Fun Fair one is a sampler one, I think. I think that's what you call a sampler. So that's what I'm planning to actually do. What was the last thing you stitched as a gift for someone? At this point, the last stitch I had done was that one. This camera malarkey is very tricky. So it's obviously the I Hope We Never Get Tired of Making Fun of Each Other by Stitchy Little Fox on Etsy. And it was an Easter present for Graham. And I did say I tend to stitch for my boyfriend mostly, because I do. You know, one of the beauties of doing cross stitch is that I do it and I give to people. I do my mum's stuff, I do Graham stuff, I do Claudette's stuff, she's my sister. I do Jackie, Graham's mum, little odds and ends. I enjoy to stitch for other people. Would I stitch for somebody to sell? Probably not. I know some people do, but I don't put all that effort in to then never ever see it again. It's bad enough when they go, I send them to my mum's or Claudette, and I don't get to see them or show them off. So yeah, I tend to stitch for the immediate family, if you will. Who are your stitching buddies? Do you sit and stitch with your friends or family? I don't. I stitch with Graham, obviously. He wants to learn to cross stitch, so keep your eyes peeled on this channel at some point because he will be on. I just need to get the confidence in him. So I stitch while Graham watch films, obviously. And so I said I sit and stitch with my boyfriend Graham and our Sprocker Spaniel Summer. She's always keeping me company while I'm stitching, occasionally on my lap, but usually snoozing on the bed. I'd like to say the guinea pigs, Cardi, Fluffy, Biscuit and Silky, keep me company too, but they're very indifferent to anything that isn't directly related to them. It's very true. I wish that question and answer had been in it, because that was one of my favourite questions. And I was like, I've got to get the guinea pigs in. And that's how I did it. So, yay me! Next up, what's the best stitching tip you ever heard or read? Something you'd want to pass on to fellow stitchers everywhere. And for me, it's the loop start method. This was something that I wish I'd known when I first started cross stitching. I didn't know about it. You know, there's lots of things I didn't know about when I first started cross stitching. Excuse me. So you take a piece of floss, one piece, separate it from like the 6 strands, fold it in half, thread the needle and loop it at the back for a secure start. I will do a video on this at some point. I've started doing shorts. I did a short the other day, unboxing the August Cotton and Twine box. Go and watch it. It's fun. It's 30 seconds of fun with Taylor Swift in the background. What more can you ask for? And I said that was a game changer because I used to just thread 2 pieces of floss and hold them against the back until I'd run over them to secure them. That is not secure. It doesn't work. It's primarily why I use 2 strands on 14 count. I'd like to use 3, but I don't know how to do a loop start with 3. So if I can figure that out, I'll do it. But until then, 2 strands works just fine for me personally. Next question was, what has been your favourite design from recent issues of the World of Cross Stitching and why? And it said, please choose something from the last 5 issues. So I put that, oh, excuse me. I put that I absolutely love the Emma Congdon design you featured recently. This kitchen is made for dancing. Emma is one of my favourite designers, and as soon as I saw the phrase, I knew I'd have to stitch it. So I've got it all kitted up and ready to stitch. It's gorgeous, and my boyfriend and I do like to have a boogie in the kitchen. Now they've actually kindly put a picture. It's that one there. I have it all kitted up. I haven't done it yet, but I have got it to do. We do like a little bit of a boogie. We're not very good at it. I'm not anyway. But yeah, I enjoy it. 1, 2, 3, 4 more questions. Let's have another drink. I'm talking a lot. In case you're wondering what I'm drinking, it's apple and strawberry Tesco quadruple strength squash. Getting all my water in, as you know. Next question, what do you love most about cross stitching? Now, for me, I put that I love seeing the designs come to life. It's one of those hobbies where you sink hours into a piece and seeing it appear in front of you bit by bit is so incredibly satisfying. It is. I also really like just how varied the designs can be from one designer to another. You can never run out of things to stitch. You can't. That's what I love about it. There's a designer out there for everybody. You know, it's incredible. It really is. Do you have a stitching technique that you've never been able to master or a new one you'd like to try and why? And I tend to struggle with anything that's not cross stitch. I despise French knots. I do. And if they're asked for in a project, I'll likely just leave them out. I do. They look really good when you get them right, but they usually never sit right for me, so I just don't bother. But I'd love to perfect them at some point in the future. I hate French knots. I did loads of them on the first embroidery that I did. And I did, you know, they looked okay, but I'd rather not. So I don't tend to do any patterns or anything that has French knots in. And I don't actively avoid them, but I just wouldn't put them in personally. I think I was meant to do French knots in me 90s kid kit from Hoops and Crosses. I just didn't do them. I was just like, nah, it ain't for me. What do your family and friends think of your hobby? Maybe they're hooked on stitching too. I can't see the attraction. I like this question. My boyfriend is a cross-stitch enabler. Yes. He doesn't cross-stitch himself, although he wants to learn. Told ya. But he's so supportive of my hobby and is always wanting to see my progress on each project. And he loves to buy me new kits and designs. He does. He does. He is an enabler, okay? It's all him. I spend no money on cross-stitch. I just have to see something and I show Graham and he'll like order it for me for Christmas or whatever. He's got at least 2 things that I can remember for me for Christmas already from Historical Sampler Company. Not that I know anything about them. I think just 2. I send him so many things that honestly I can't even keep track either. We have like a conversation going, so I'll tell him when I buy something so he knows not to buy it, and he'll not tell me when I buy it, but I just go to him and I'm like, what companies do I need to avoid? And he then tells me, he says, so like Historical Sampler Company, avoid, avoid, avoid. Because they're the ones he's got. Not that I know that. What's your, that last question, what's your proudest or most memorable stitching moment? And my most memorable stitching moment happens every time I stitch. Without fail, I always end up miscounting. All of the time. Does my head in. It doesn't bother me as I leave it as it is and just amend the pattern accordingly as my boyfriend says it makes my stitches unique. I agree and I just smile whenever it happens now. That's a bit of a lie. Most of the time it's fine and I don't mind because, you know, it's a little simple thing. But I'm doing, at the minute at work, I'm doing the Perfect Posy caterpillar box. And I don't know how, but I've gone so disastrously wrong with it. And I was just thinking to myself yesterday, I was like, I could just not do this. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my eye's being weird. Sorry about that. I got really frustrated with it yesterday internally. I was like, oh my god, are you a moron? Counting is not difficult. But I've persevered with it. It's fine. It'll look fine when it's done and nobody will know. Nobody that sees it will know. So, the next bit is... take a look at your sneak peek into the world of cross-stitching's next issue and tell us at least 5 or more of your favourite projects and why you like them so much. Approximately 40 words per project. Please give plenty of details like where you would put them in your home, whom you would stitch them for, how you would display them, framed, etc. So, I've told you the Home Sweet Home, was that? No, the Fun of the Fair and the Get Well Soon cards. I also did obviously comment on the Land Ahoy one. I put Land Ahoy would look fantastic in our kitchen. I would stitch and frame it and hang it up as our kitchen has a nautical theme. Which it does. It was page 78, wasn't it? It's called Stormy Seas. Maybe I've got the wrong one. Okay, bear with me a minute, because I could be being a bit of a div. No, I'm pretty sure it's that one, so that's that one. That was the first one I commented on. The second one was the Fun of the Fair. That one. Let me just bring it up. Fun of the Fair. And I said, Fun of the Fair is gorgeous. I would stitch as the hang in our bedroom. I love the colours and I've been saying I'd like to stitch more samplers. Very true. The next one was the Home Sweet Home sampler. And I've just seen this. This was the one that I thought I'd done. That's that one here. Which is lovely. And I said, the Home Sweet Home sampler would be an ideal gift for a friend or family member to hang in their home. I may even stitch it for myself to hang in our home. I'm so cute. The next thing was the Get Well Soon cards. I don't know what she's doing. There they are. Them get well soon cards. And I said, the get well soon cards would be fantastic to stitch for a friend or family member who has been ill or had to go to the hospital for any reason. It would brighten up their day for sure. And the last one is another one that I really want to stitch, actually. Let me just find it. Oh yeah, Pokemon. Gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon. Wow. Bet you didn't think you'd come for that kind of content today. So, being a 90s baby, I would have to stitch Pikachu up for our home office. It'll bring back the nostalgia of watching Pokemon before going to school in the early 2000s. It's true, I did. So, I remember like getting up at like 7:30 in the morning to go to school. Oh my god. The idea of getting up at 7:30 now makes me feel sick. I don't get up at 7:30. But we would go downstairs, we put Sky 1 on, I believe. It was on Sky 1. And put Pokemon on and just watch Pokemon before I went to school. Good times. I'm actually thinking of starting collecting Pokemon cards again. I am debating it. I love Pokemon. My friend Mina does. And I'm just very jealous. Where have you gone? Hey, what are you doing? Summer! Hey! You balmy cow. So, that was my experience with the world of cross stitching. Like I say, I got some free gifts that I thought I would show. So I got these. They come from this month's panel members. Each get 2 cross stitch kits from Creative World of Crafts. Excuse me, Flamboyant and Foxing Around. And obviously you get everything you need to stitch them. I think they're so cute. I love flamingos. I'm obsessed with flamingos. I love them. And I love the fox. I love the colours on the fox. So yeah, I'm very excited to do them. It's worth like £30 as well. So if you would like to be on the reader panel, all you have to do is email the world of X stitching at ourmedia.co.uk. I will put the email address below. Tell them your name, where you're from, and include a good quality pic. Panelists get a preview of the mag and a gift worth at least £30. You can't lose. So I'll put all the details down below. It's amazing. It's not the only way you can get in the magazine. You can send a letter in to us. You can send a letter in showing off your stitches. You can ask questions and have like a Q&A section where they'll answer any stitchy kind of questions. And they do feature readers very, very prominently. It's why I love the magazine so much. So I would highly recommend that you do that. I really appreciate the World of Cross Stitching letting me shoot this video and give it to you guys so you can know what the crack is on it, I guess. And it was really fun. It was so much fun. Come here. Come on. Come here. Come on. Come on over. Come on. Oh. There we go. So that is it from me and Summer. Thank you for another week. Next week I will be talking about upcoming stitch alongs. So I had the brainwave the other night and I was like, ooh, do you know what? I'll do a video on all of the stitch alongs that are upcoming within the next few months or so. There's a good few ones coming. You'll have to tune in next week to find out which ones. Oh, I know. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you give it a big 2 paws up, big thumbs up, Summer will appreciate it. So will I. If you leave a comment, let me know if you've ever been in a magazine or what your claim to fame is in the cross stitching world. I'd love to hear it. And me and Summer will see you next week. We pet. So we hope you have an absolutely lovely week, and we'll see you next week for a stitch along roundup. Have a fab week, guys. I haven't got distracted this week, I know. It's the first time for everything. And I'll see you all Wednesday at midday. Have a fab time. Bye.